there too, that's fine. I'll pull it up, whatever you want to do, that'd be great. I kind of got a little idea what's going on. I just, the only thing really is that I know you want to, I guess from what I understand, you have an appraisal in hand from the bank.
Yeah.
And just was curious about how it was assessed. That's all I know.
That's it. That's the bottom line. Like, you know, my father passed away last year.
Sorry.
He, back in 2007, me and my mom divorced. He had to refinance the house. It was tough times, we all know, right? He had an appraisal done, and needless to say, you know, things were happening back then that probably shouldn't have happened. I don't know. Just so happened that appraisal at that time ended up being kind of pretty close to what the assessment came in at back then.
Okay.
So, you know, market has changed. I went to refinance just a couple months ago, and it came in, you know, it was at 190. My appraisal was 140,000. A substantial difference, and I just, you know.
Questions about it? Sure.
Questions about it.
Reasonable.
You know?
Get them all the time like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what's the process? I can just. You know.
So, and what I would have to do is really probably should take a ride up there probably, but I'm going from memory because I know where the place is.
Yeah, right up past you.
And I think it's Log Home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Kate, or is it ranch?
It's a ranch.
It is a ranch. All right.
It's a ranch with 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom with a finished basement.
Is it? Okay. What's the dimensions on the ranch?
22 by 34 with a farmer's porch that's 8 feet of that 22.
Okay. Oh, 8 feet.
Yeah.
Well, we're out and about,
Yeah.
so we should take a look at it.
Yeah. Like I said,
So
34 by 22. Yeah, let's just look at the appraisal real quick so I don't tell you anything that's 748 square feet.
Right off the bat, here's where this really goes.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the whole thing, ball of wax.
Sure.
The appraisal was done by the bank.
Yeah.
Is that the old one or is this the current one?
This is a new one.
Okay, so you shelled out money because you're refinancing or whatever. This is how we all do it. This is how we do it.
Sure.
The banks hit us for the fees, and that's what's really paying for these things. I know it comes out of our pockets, but it's really their appraisal. They own it.
Yeah.
They give you a copy of it.
Oh yeah.
You know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And what they do, that fee appraiser, which means they're looking at your specific house all by itself.
Yeah.
They'll take comps from other areas, but they're just looking at the value of your one place.
Yeah.
And not necessarily, in this situation, for the value of what its true value is. If you're looking to sell it and you hired an appraiser, you're probably going to come out with a different number than that. You could. I don't know for sure, but you could. Go with me because I got a long ways I'm going. You know,
Sure.
I do see an issue that I want to go look at.
Sure.
Okay. But so this is just how the general purpose the process works. I'm sorry. Basically, all they're doing is making sure their butt's covered when they loan you money.
Yeah.
And so it's not necessarily showing here's what the true value is. It's saying yeah, there's enough value there to cover what the loan is. Mm-hmm. Realistically, that's what they're looking for.
Right.
They're working for the bank, so they're gonna come up with
They're a
not a
third
specific
party.
number because that's illegal, but just that general.
Well, they're a third party
Yeah.
appraiser. They're not the
Yeah.
bank.
And there's a difference between what they call fee appraisal, which again is looking at that one specific house,
Right.
and mass appraisal, which is what the assessing does. And there's one difference, is equity and equality across the board. So we have to look at similar houses,
Yeah.
and unfortunately I hate the system we have in town, but I have to live in it, is we have big Cape, little Cape, big
Yeah.
ranch, little ranch, you know,
Sure.
and we don't even have square footage on it. So, I mean, if I said to you, what's that? Is that a big ranch or a small ranch? Or we may differ. All of us are going to have a different. If we at least had square footages attached to that, we could all say, hey, that falls within. So it's going to come down to a judgment call. But what I'm looking at here, what you've been assessed at for the building was 148, which falls under this big Cape or big ranch for whatever reason. Previous board set this up, and $148,000 for the building covers a big Cape or a big ranch. Okay, the dimensions you just gave me doesn't really, in my opinion, kind of sound like it falls into a big anything, you know, and especially the 1 bedroom.
1 bathroom upstairs.
So that's where I want it. It's not so much that appraisal that's intrigued me,
Yeah.
because I can find fault with that and just say, yep, nope. But what you've told me since, I wanted to look at it. I'd like for you guys to go look at it, because it does sound like it's possibly overcharged by a little bit.
Yeah.
I know it's confusing, I'm sorry.
No, I understand that towns
Yeah.
do a different assessment than
Yeah.
the mortgage, I get that. And
Well, and it's
and then you got acreage, and I don't know how that's all figured out. However, I only got 228 feet acreage. It's a flag lot.
yeah.
We can't compare that the same as we can compare someone with 12 acres with.
No, and what you got
You
is,
know.
is we were kind of doing this conversation already today, was base lot values.
Right.
And so zoning, this is one question that was come up earlier. Zoning laws says that we have to have 2 acre minimum in town.
Yeah.
You know, and zoning and assessment don't really correlate necessarily. But that is the base lot that has been set up as a minimum 2 acre lot.
Yeah.
So anything 2 acres and under, so you got some at the lakes and things that might be half an acre, quarter of an acre,
Yeah.
you're still going to get hit with that base lot assessment.
Sure.
Lakes, waterfront is a bad example, but
Right.
maybe right of ways.
Yeah. And I have a right of way to own properties.
So right now, currently, that base lot value on land for the first 2 acres is
Yeah.
assessed at $32,000. Everybody,
I see.
unless it's waterfront, but everybody in the interior. Okay.
Yeah.
So if there's a lot across the road, the first 2 acres, I own 20 acres that there's no house on. The first 2 acres is 32,000.
Yeah.
And then it's $1,000 per acre for
I see.
excess acreage.
I see. Yeah.
So I don't. What do you have exactly? You had
12.18.
12.18.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got it right. Okay.
You know, this
Let me
would be
double
the
check.
first time I ever thought I'd argue for your house to have lower value.
Yeah. So
But
what?
it's really.
So
this
the
is-
land
this is
value.
significant.
The land value is 42,180.
Yeah.
So your first 2 acres is 32,000, just like everybody else in town, and then each additional acre past that's 1,000.
So that's how we get
42.
the 42, I see. Yeah. You know, I just reading the state of Maine, you know, it looks, from what I read from the Maine property tax laws, is that it should be based on fair market value.
Yeah.
Assessments should be based on
Just
fair
value.
market value.
Just value.
Just
Yeah.
value.
Which, as we were saying earlier today,
And-
it's
and
interchangeable. You know,
are
some.
we fair when we're comparing? I've done a little research on
Sure.
some properties and looked at the.
I know
The
one of our other observers here is
2014
called
law.
Maine Rev today,
Yeah.
and like from a Maine revenue side of things, well, they're interchangeable terms: fair market value and just value. Maine State Constitution uses the words just value.
Yeah.
So just for clarification, I kind of throw it a different way. I can define them a little bit different, only because I've done real estate before. So here's your revenue person, which now that's us because we're assessors, you know.
Yeah.
Look at it from one point of view, but your real estate agent is going to look at it a different view. You know, an assessment, everybody wants their assessment low, but when we go to sell it, I want the assessment high. I want that appraisal high, you know, I want to sell it for the most I can.
I was hoping. I even went to high school with this guy. It just so happened. Go figure the
No
odds
kidding.
of it. I didn't choose him, but it was a guy I went to high school with.
No kidding.
I just cleared the equity to refinance by $8,000, and I still have to put money in.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's you know.
So your just value though, let me go back to that real
Yeah.
quick in the state law. I can break it down just a little bit further, so I think for all of us average, because I had to learn this too.
Yeah.
Fair market value can do this. You know, let's go
Yeah.
back to May 2007. We were still riding that little bubble. By
Yeah.
October, you crashed, because I was doing real estate then, and it crashed hard.
Just as the mean. Is that what you're saying, kind of?
There's one more ingredient, if you will, to the mix, is equality, which is what assessors have to look at that an appraiser doesn't have to look at. So he's looking at value on that one specific house, whereas as assessors, we're going to look at the market value on that one specific house to some degree. That's
Right.
part of it, but I also have to look at equality so that it's similar across the board.
Boy, can of worms. What happens if your baseline's off? You know, what happens if?
Well,
I mean, you know, when was the last time that Lebanon did a
we need
town
to
assessment?
do a reval. You know, we really do.
And I'm sure it's a tough situation. I mean, we're talking
It's a lot of money.
of taxes.
It's a lot of money to do a reval.
You
You
know,
know, but
the
it,
town votes on it, right?
needs to be
If that's something that
Correct.
needs to be done.
for a professional firm to come in.
Right.
If you have assessors that are capable, you know,
Yeah.
they can perform the reval within a municipality. But most don't. So most hire out. When you hire out, it has to be voted on. So
So I'm just looking for a just, I guess, or just if you guys.
I want to look at it. I
Wouldn't
wanna
mind
look
taking
at
a look.
it.
That would be great.
Just based off the dimensions.
Yeah, 22. I told you exactly what it is.
Are you right up there all the time? I mean, you live there, right?
Yep. We work days. I work days. I'm home after 4 usually.
I live right down the road, so I mean, I
Yeah.
can shoot up there.
Yeah, I'm home every
Have to
evening.
hook up with one of
Or
these
just
guys.
set
or-
up the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably bring a tape measure like the front, just slap a tape measure on it.
Yeah.
I got the tape measure. Are you working Saturday? I mean, going around?
Yeah, I'll be going around on mobile
Well,
homes.
we're gonna
And
be
you guys gonna be
together,
out and
we
about.
could shoot over at 8 o'clock and then
Yeah.
we can run.
Well, it's up to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Saturday morning, 8 o'clock?
Saturday
8:30,
morning,
say,
8 o'clock.
be alright for you?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, are you not Saturday?
I was contemplating going in for a few hours, but I think I can do that.
Let me just throw this on the table. We're not going inside because I mean,
Yeah.
eventually
Yeah.
we should. We should be
Yeah.
assessing from the inside values and stuff, but we don't. So
Yeah.
if you're okay with us even just going up, taking a look at it, I don't care if it's the middle of the day or whatever works. We're gonna look at it from the
Yeah.
outside. I might slap a tape measure to it just on
I
the.
don't have a problem
see the
with
size of
any
it.
one of you
Are we
three.
gonna disturb any dogs or
I
anything?
don't have any dogs.
No.
No dogs,
No,
boys.
no, just didn't want
The
to.
neighbor's
He had one
dogs
come out
might
through
be
the-
roaming around,
Yeah.
but
I'll bet.
none of them are ours.
He had one come out at him a year ago, so don't blame
Yeah.
me for that. That's a good question.
But even more concerned than that is if someone has an animal in their house, like it was brought up to me today, you can go, when we're out there around, the animal can see us and be rather upset and have something go wrong with it and say, we're,
Especially nowadays.
we don't want to be there either.
No, I don't have a problem with that.
That's what I wanted to see actually, because with the appraisal you should have that sketch, and I was
there's
kind
a
of curious.
sketch. There's the dimensions, yeah, like I said. 22, 34.
With an additional, 22 by 34
And
with
then
the
the 8
additional 8
foot
foot.
with the porch.
Gotcha.
going up.
Yeah, gotcha.
And the porch is full length.
Yeah.
Which we're slowly working on too as we hit different properties and just snapping pictures, because the system we use here at the town office can do so much more than what we're utilizing it for. And at some point in time, having been a real estate agent on the other end of things, this always was a very difficult town to get information, because this is where your resources are. So we're going around. I might snap a picture or two if that's all right, so we can throw it in the system, something like that.
Yeah, no, whatever you need to do.
We've been trying to get the systems updated a little bit.
I don't wanna, I don't have a problem Saturday. I'd like to say I wanna be there, but I was contemplating picking up some overtime Saturday morning.
Well, no,
so I
that's
don't
all
wanna
right.
make any
Yeah,
promises.
that's fine.
Feel
Yeah.
free.
What
Well-
time are you gonna be home?
Yeah, later on in the day, we could put it on the other end if you do,
Yeah, we're gonna be out all day.
Yeah, how about, I'll be there
good?
after 2 o'clock? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock, Saturday.
Ken, it's up to you.
2 o'clock
Good with
Saturday?
me, good with me, we're gonna be out assessing, so.
I'll be on one side of town, they're gonna be on the other side of
Yeah, we
town,
can run
just
over
we're gathering
there's
information.
no problem,
And
I'll be there.
That'll work.
Yeah.
I'll,
that work?
make sure the cats are in.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
I'm gonna be on that side of town anyway, ish.
Yeah,
Do you
and,
want I can give you my number anyway, would that work? You wanna do that? And
Sure.
just give me a ring,
when
I'll
we
give
all
them a
get
ring.
together, you just call us and we'll.
When I
we'll-
get home, if I.
I'm afraid I'm gonna
I will.
forget, I got so many things going in my head.
I can,
Well, Saturday's
Well, we'll set a definite appointment.
I'm not afraid of giving you my phone number, because it's sitting on a big sign right
I
now at the
know
body
it is.
shop.
We don't need
thank you, Benna. You were, before
Yeah,
you
well-
were running there too.
Probably not.
If we set a definite time,
What
I'll
was
just
it
give
you
you a
did?
call a little
No,
bit,
it's
if I
not.
remember. If I remember, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, I know, right?
But where am I? I'm gonna add,
I'm loading so many appointments on my phone.
You might want to write it down, dear Ben, so it doesn't get on the video and go out viral over the internet, your phone
Yeah, I
number.
can write it down. Like I say, it's out there on a big sign.
207, 457. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not a good idea, putting everybody's phone number on the internet.
This is true. Alright, so, let me see what we get here.
Yeah.
So, alright, so you got a partially finished basement?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, we're working on it. My dad, we moved up there to help him out when he got cancer, and then he stayed down there.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we kind of got it finished
There you go.
for him. But reaching out
Yeah, that'd be
to
good.
you
'Cause even with-
Saturday morning. I'll let you know if I'm going to work or if I'll be around all
'Cause
day.
even we count, if you got living space in the basement, you count that as, completed, finished living area,
Yeah.
if you will. Still on the low side of the square footage, that's how I'm seeing it.
It
So-
shouldn't be big, I don't think.
No.
It's pretty, it's a
Shouldn't be
small
considered a
cabin.
big.
And I'd say from where we're coming from, we'll probably be 12, 15 minutes away, at the most. Figure on the
You
phone
guys-
call times.
I mean, I don't know what else to say about them.
No, I
Yes,
just-
I just know
Yep.
they only gave me square footage of the above grade living area.
Yep.
But that's separate,
Well, the process at this point would just basically be is, look at it, view it, see what you got, maybe measure it or something like that, just to double check, and then, I'm gonna look for similar properties that we already have here in town. Same size, we don't necessarily, we get a couple of log homes that we can compare to, we don't have a whole lot of them though, but,
I know, I noticed that.
yeah, there's a couple few that are around, but, yeah, we look at it anyway, and just, that's gotta go back to that equity. If everybody's being treated the same way, if the math formula, if you will, is gonna be this similar formula.
But they do look at the size though, right? I mean, if this lot.
Right. Right now, we do, yeah.
I mean,
It
if
should
that
be done
log cabin
totally
is
different, but that's the world we live
48
in.
by, 36.
Correct,
It'll be right. And
correct. This is where, to me, it comes down to, it's gonna be a judgment call for the board, but if we can at some point in time vote in, square footages. If we're gonna still play this game of little ranch, big ranch, but at least throw some square footages that they live in, so then there's no question. If that's the square footage, then that's what it is, and
Well, if somebody lives in a small, tiny little home, because that's all they could afford, should they pay the same value for the guy that's got the mansion because it goes 3 feet up? I don't know.
right, we do have different values for colonials and different,
Right.
so yeah.
Yeah.
But I still, I don't like, I like living in a world of reality. I'd like to just tear this whole assessment system apart and start doing it right, but
Yeah, it's a
it's
tough
so
one.
much work. It's so
I'm
much
sure.
work.
I'm sure. I was just with such a discrepancy on
Yeah.
from what
Yeah.
the appraisal was.
I honestly
Just again, I know it's not the
understand where you're coming from. But
Yeah.
That doesn't concern me
Yeah.
as much as what
So-
you told us about the size of it and stuff like that.
Alright.
Yeah, but I really appreciate you coming in.
Great. Thanks for having us. Appreciate your time, guys.
Enjoy the weather. It's pretty
Yeah.
good.
We look forward to seeing you on Saturdays.
Absolutely, Royce.
Nice talking to you.
Mr. Nato?
Yeah.
All right. See you later, Ben.
Yep.
Take care.
Yep. It's nice seeing you. Yep.
You guys have stuff to sign, or can you answer a question that just came up because I was talking to somebody out in front while you were in executive session?
I'm okay with that. If you guys are, okay with her asking a question real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6:30 is our next appointment, but
That's okay.
Go ahead.
When you guys hired a new person at the transfer station, there was supposed to be one person that you guys all agreed on, and their name was given. Everybody congratulated him, but we never saw the executive session happen on the second one. But I understand there is actually a second person hired by the transfer station, a young lady. Did you guys hire a second person?
there was a second person
There was
hired.
2 people anyway.
Yeah.
That was, I don't know what.
There
that
was 2 people
Executive
hired?
session
and we-
happens for the
We
interviews.
interviewed him here.
Yeah. there was-
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
an
I knew that you interviewed. I knew that you did. But when you guys hired, well, I'll just say because he was hired as public record. But when you hired Mr. Knoll, you guys told me that you hired Mr. Knoll, and we all said congratulations to him and stuff. But we didn't know that you had hired a second person. But now the question comes: did you hire like a third person?
No.
Well, how come Mike, that got hired at the road crew, was working at the transfer station
That's a good question.
on Saturday? Because he's not a transfer station employee.
Right. We took him in. We didn't have. I always done it before, and we done it again. I
What
think
did-
we'll
you
have
done
to do
what?
it different. Way back, as a matter of fact, that's how Royce got there. When we need somebody,
Right.
somebody's out, we get somebody from the highway. They
Okay.
come in and work, and that's it. That's how Royce got there. And we did the same thing last week, and apparently Ben don't like that system, so.
Oh, it wasn't Ben that talked to me about it. It was somebody else. It wasn't Ben that discussed
No,
it. I did. Matter of fact, Ben, why didn't you discuss it? No.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
we'll do something different.
Okay, and the other question, and this came from a citizen. It's not from me. Although you know, I saw you at the transfer station and I talked to you. But the citizen that came in wanted to know why you were working at the transfer station if you're not a town employee
I
anymore.
wasn't working per se working. I went there because,
No,
Uh,
she's asking,
how would you say it?
setting up for that.
Just in case they needed me, because there was new people. But I
So-
didn't charge or anything.
Okay, so there was Mike from the road crew
Highway.
working there. The new fella, Roger, not. I understand the new girl, her name was Jenny, I guess. She was not working there. But you had
Jordan.
Ronald's grandson, Jordan, was working there. And Ronnie was working there. He wasn't working there.
No.
What was he doing there?
Who?
Ronnie. Because it was you, and from what I understand, Royce and
Royce-
Ronnie all in the little
Royce-
building together. Did you know that, Ben?
I didn't know that.
Royce came in, I don't know, 11:30, 12 o'clock, just before the transition.
Whatever, yeah.
Ronnie was gone, that's why we were mixed up.
Oh,
They
so the
always
lady
go-
was wrong. It wasn't you and Royce and Ronnie, all three of you in that
No,
little
no,
building
no.
together. She was wrong? She was incorrect? It wasn't the three of you in there together?
With Ronnie?
Yeah.
No.
But when I went, it was you and Ronnie.
When?
Saturday, don't you remember I came in and I said hello
That
to
was the
you?
week before. And I wasn't working the week before, I brought him donuts.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about two different. One Saturday it was just you and Ronnie, and then the second Saturday it was just
But
you
when
and
you
Royce.
saw me the week before, you
Right.
came in and you paid for something.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I wasn't working, I just brought him donuts.
But you worked this Saturday,
This,
because she said you were operating the button, the
I
magic
touched
button
the
at the
button
transfer
once.
station.
They went around to, they went across another truck. We had new people,
Mm-hmm.
because every year Ronnie and Bobby go up Vermont this time of the
Mm-hmm.
year. We didn't get him hired on time, so I figured it'd be safer if one of us was there for the transition.
Because Ronnie wasn't there. So one of you wasn't there, both of you were there.
At
you
one
and
time,
Rice.
we were both there, when for the transition.
But, okay. But she was incorrect about Ronnie being there.
He wasn't there, no,
Okay,
he was in Vermont.
Okay. But,
What were you both doing there? I want to know. I'm just curious.
For one thing, it was not to have a selectmen's meeting.
Well, you did though. It was
No,
in.
we didn't. It was not announced and we had no selectmen's meeting.
You didn't discuss anything with the town at all.
No,
No,
no. Matter of fact, we were in separate areas most of
But
the
you
time.
can understand my concern.
I do,
Okay.
and I would be concerned myself.
I know what
you're
Just saying.
concerned.
well, we can be doing the same thing Saturday morning when we're assessing, I mean,
Yeah,
But the difference is, I know that you're off together. The difference is, if you were up there on a Saturday at the transfer station for a job you resigned at that you're not supposed to be at, for a lot of many reasons, and you're both there and I don't know about it, that's a difference. When I don't know about it, I know you guys are going out assessing. You know what I mean? There's a difference. You know.
it was done with all good intention. There was not.
Alright.
It was to actually help things keep going smoother. That's all. Not to make
I just am
anything
caught by
against
surprise. I was
anybody
just
else.
surprised. I'm gonna go get our 6:30 because
yeah.
they're here.